Welcome to the second part of our four-part tutorial on creating a title block for vendor-neutral building automation system drawings. In this part of the tutorial, we'll illustrate the use of AutoCAD Layout Wizard and viewports. This video builds off of the Part 1 tutorial. We're going to close out of our layers, and then the next thing we're going to do is define our layout. And we're going to do that using the layout wizard. And again, I'm going to use the command line down here, and I'm going to type in the command layout. And what I like about AutoCAD is it gives me the choices when I start typing in the characters. So layout wizard. So it brings up this menu and it kind of walks you through the process, which is really helpful. So I'm going to call this title block. Click the next. And I'm going to set this up for an Adobe PDF. So I could set this up for a particular plotter, but I'm going to set this up for Adobe right now. I'm going to set this up for a size of 11 by 17, which is really the native size of the drawing that we're going to create here. We'll just check the different things that we have here. We are working in inches. Our width is 17 inches. Our height is 11 inches. And we'll click Next. So our orientation is going to be landscape. So got that. We're going to say none for the path here. We're going to create our own stuff here. We're going to define a viewport or a window into our model space. And we're going to select a location for the viewport. And you see down in our command line here, it's asking for the first corner. We're going to type in our coordinates 0.5 and 1.625. And then our opposite corner, I'm going to plug in my coordinates again at 16.5 for the X and 10.5 for the Y. Click Finish. All right. And then I'm going to change, I'm going to window this whole viewport here, change my window. And then the properties, I'm going to change, and I did the P for properties there. I'm going to do LA for layer. And I'm going to change the layer to viewport. And you see when I did that, it changed the color of my viewport to red, because that's how I defined it in my layers in an earlier step. All right, now we see that we've got the light blue line within inside the boundaries of our viewport. That's actually the limits of our drawing. And what I want is for the limits of the drawing to match up with the actual viewport. So I'm going to click on my viewport. I'm going to do a right click and select properties. And for my custom scale, I'm going to set this to 1. And I'm going to close this and click off of here or escape. And now we see that my limits, my light blue line is actually behind my viewport. It's the identical size of my viewport. So I'm going to go into my layers now. And I'm done with my viewport for now, so I'm actually going to turn that off. So layers, viewport, select, turn that off. And we'll close out of here. We're going to do a little house cleaning now, and we're going to delete Layout 1 tab here. So I click on that, delete, say OK to that. I put my mouse over Layout tab 2, right click, delete. Okay, we are going to be working in the title block layer, or excuse me, tab here. So what we're working on now is creating the actual title block itself. So now we're getting down to the good stuff. So I'm on the Layout tab, Title Block, and I'm going to go into my layers here, and I'm going to select my title block border. This is what I want to create my lines on. So I'm going to set this to my current layer and clear out of here. And then I'm going to begin creating my border. So I'm going to illustrate this by typing in a couple of commands, and then I'm going to show a screen capture of the coordinates that I used to create this. So let's begin with, and I'm going to start off with working in the command line again. So I'm going to type in P-line for polyline. My start point is going to be 0.5 x coordinate, 0.5 y coordinate. I'm going to set my width of my polyline at 0.015625, which just happens to be a half snap. So my next point on the polyline is coordinates 16.5 for the x, 0.5 on the y. Then next coordinate is 16.5 on the x, 10.5 on the y. Next is 0.5 for the x, 10.5 for the y, and C for close. I'm going to type in one last command, and then the rest you can do on your own given the coordinates that I'm going to put on the screen. So we'll do a P-line again. Starting point 0.5x, 1.625 for the y. Our next point is 16.5x, 1.625y. So this defines our basic starting point of our title block. And we're going to use this upper rectangle for our drawing space. That's where our drawing's going to be. And then the lower, longer rectangle down here is going to be where all our information is for the drawing title and the logos and revision dates and stuff like that. And here's our completed title block border. This concludes part 2 of this tutorial. Please check out parts 3 and 4.